10:37, good morning. This is Breakfast with Stephen and Ellie.
Let's take a look at today's front pages for you now. And in the Express this morning, attention is drawn to King Charles's state visit to France being postponed amid pension protests in the capital, but also all around France.
Yes, indeed. The Eye has that as well, but it also say that the King wants to heal Britain's Brexit wounds.
The Times again leads with King Charles's first state visit being postponed after President Macron warned it would become the target of an escalating nationwide revolt in France.
The Mail also gives a front page over to that.
The Daily Telegraph does the same. It says the UK reset with the EU is in disarray after King Charles's state visit to France was cancelled.
The Mirror has a man with toothache who went to Ukraine to get it fixed.
And finally, the front stage of the Star leads with baguettes being blamed for a global wind pandemic. Say that one.
Okay, let's go through those with writer and columnist Emma Wolfe and radio presenter Pete Price, and all-round entertainer, actually, Pete Price should say, which is true. Can we have a look at the Mail, please, Emma? Arctic conditions forecast, despite it being spring.
Yeah, well,
more like a weather story.
I love a weather story, and apparently February was really, really dry, and March has been sort of drizzly and sleety, and yesterday there was mad weather, wasn't there? There were sort of hailstones and all sorts.
Was there?
Yeah, there were hailstones. In the middle of the afternoon.
Loads of rain.
Yeah. There was a lot of mad weather and a crack of thunder, which I literally thought was going to sort of rip open the heavens. Apparently, we're not into spring yet. We can't relax yet. Gardeners shouldn't relax yet. There's an Arctic blast on the way. Temperature's going to be as low as -5 in some towns in the north in the coming week. And so we're sort of not out the woods. I think we need some spring. I think we've had a long, hard winter. Lots of us.
Spring.
Just want. And the thing is, the cherry blossom is out, the magnolia are out. All of that is there.
That's all happening. Yeah.
But then it all gets blown away in these Arctic.
It's interesting. The whole world's gone mad. I've not long been back from Las Vegas, and it snowed.
Did it?
I took all the wrong clothes. Had to go out and buy clothes. I was absolutely freezing to death. But it has gone mad. But I didn't think it's been that bad a winter. I think it's been, mind you, where I live on the Wirral, it's very, very mild because Liverpool's higher and Wales is higher, and we're down a bit, and we seem to get better weather than anybody else.
By the sea.
And by the sea as well, so we get the salt coming in.
Yeah, you do. It always keeps it milder, doesn't it? Because the water acts as a sort of temper. Talking of which, Pete, in the Mirror, Liverpool has been voted as one of the best places to live.
Can't believe this.
No surprise there.
No, I thought we were going to talk about the other thing. You're determined not to talk about that.
We will, in a minute.
Yes, I am so excited, I can't tell you. Liverpool is buzzing beyond belief with the Eurovision. It is just millions of people are going to descend on Liverpool. And I'm working for 10 days around Liverpool with it. But what is really good about this, Liverpool already is buzzing about it, but they've now said it's one of the best places to live in the country, which is great. Now, Toxteth, we remember the Toxteth riots. It was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Now it's a vibrant community. It's fabulous, and there's wonderful parks around there. And also we've got Waterloo, which is known for its restaurants now and bars, and we've got the Anthony Gormley statues. Honestly, Liverpool is alive. 2008 was when Liverpool changed, when we had the capital of culture. We had some very dark days with some very bad governments, and it was awful. But now it's buzzing, and we've got a fantastic new Everton Stadium being built on the waterfront. We've got a fabulous film studios being built. Oh yes, so many people come to Liverpool because of those beautiful buildings like St George's Hall and the Town Hall. We're America all the time. I mean, roads are blocked off all the time with filmmaking. I cannot tell you how exciting it is. And then the Eurovision, save all those kisses for me. Just
Well,
I'll tell you what, it is a great city, and it's lovely to see it having a resurgence. I think it's been forgotten about for too long.
And of course, people don't realise the Eurovision is 10 days leading up and about 5 days afterwards. It's not just one day.
Yeah, it's a 2-week thing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And it will be showcasing itself to the world, won't it?
It will indeed. It will indeed.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And we had Elton John there last night at M&S, so the M&S Arena, so you can't do better than that. Yeah, it's been postponed and brought back. So he was there again on his world tour, which is 17 years
long.
Yeah. But I love him. I love it. And I had the bed made up for him, and he didn't come and stay. Very upset.
Oh, well, maybe next time.
Oh dear, Emma, let's have a look at the Mail, shall we? And this is putting clocks an hour forward, which is what's going to happen tonight. We're apparently giving in to the nanny state.
Yeah, well, I mean, people have quite strong feelings about clocks going forward and back, don't they? I always get completely confused about whether we spring forward or leap back or fall back or whatever. Anyway, we're going forward tomorrow at 1 a.m, which means we all get an hour less in bed.
2, isn't it? 2 o'clock.
Oh, I thought it was 1 o'clock.
It's
But then
1:59.
Oh, 1:59, and then we go back to 1:59.
No, we go back to 1.
12.
No, we go to
You see?
3. No, we go to 3, don't we?
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Everybody watching
you're right.
is going to be so confused.
I thought it was 1 a.m, but you're right, they go forward, so this back is wrong. It's forward. So we get an hour less in bed or whatever we're doing.
Yeah, they spring.
Does anybody know why it happens? Because I don't know why.
Daylight saving time.
But what's that got to do with anything?
So it means when it goes, it makes it lighter in the evening. No, it makes it lighter.
Lighter in the evening, yes.
Yeah.
Earlier tea times, and then darker in the mornings.
Yeah.
Well,
why?
but the mornings are getting so light that isn't. Oh.
But why in the Stone Age? They never said, I'll put the clocks. Man,
They didn't have clocks. No.
If you let me
Was
explain.
it originally for the farmers?
Yeah, I think it was for, and also in the north where they get so little light in the evenings. I don't know. But David Rooney, who is a former curator of timekeeping at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, is saying that this is effectively like nanny statism. The government is telling us, effectively telling us, it's being used as an instrument of moral discipline and telling us when to go to bed and when to get up.
Right.
And he's quite exercised about this.
Yeah.
People do get really quite wound up about this. I mean, is it really necessary? Could we not ditch the October and the March forward and back, clock forward and back?
Every year, when I did my late night radio, which was over 45 years, I had the argument with my bosses saying,
about doing an extra
are
hour.
you going to pay me for this extra
Free.
hour every
Yeah.
year? I did it.
Yeah.
Never worked.
And with a
Never
kid,
paid
it's a
me.
nightmare. Babies get really sensitive to time change, and you end up with either an exhausted baby or one that wants to go to bed, but it's way too early. So it's not good for anyone.
Do you think we should do away with it?
Yes. Let's
Yes.
have a normal life like the
Ban
Stone
the clock
Age.
change. Why would you support it?
Well, because I think it has its uses. But also bear in mind, the rest of the world does it. The rest
Does
of the
that
world
make it
does
right?
Why do they need to do it?
Well, for the same reasons we do, presumably. But so we're going to go. So if we don't change our time, we're used to Europe being an hour ahead, and New York being 5 hours behind.
Right.
So if we don't change it, then suddenly tomorrow morning we'll be on the same time, and Europe's going to be 2 hours ahead.
It's a minefield.
It is
I
a
just think the evenings get light anyway. By midsummer, it's light until 10 o'clock in the evening, so we don't need to do this.
And there's always
very confusing.
And there's always one clock you haven't changed, and you go, oh no.
Is it? Yeah, that's true.
There's
Exactly.
one
the
clock
microwave
allowed.
and the oven, and you just think,
never
you know what?
You
I'll
get
leave it to
that,
catch up with
So
itself
catch
a year
up.
later.
Okay, Pete.
It's
time
time.
has come.
Yeah.
Right. I will not use that word that you don't want.
No.
And I won't. Now, I've got some words to pick from. I've got toot, breaking wind, let off, or pass gas.
Yes.
Which one do you want me to use?
Toot.
Toot, all right. So, there's angry bakers are fuming at the growing craze of uncooked baguettes, which they say are causing a world tooting epidemic. Now, apparently this idea of the half-baked idea has come from America. So they're coming out.
Lots of ideas from America are half-baked, to be fair.
Yes, but there's nothing wrong with a good passing of wind. I mean, it's healthy, isn't it?
You were going to
Apparently
focus on the baguettes, and instead
apparently
you're going
Macron's
with
very worried about it
flatulence.
because it's happening in France. I think he's got bigger things to worry
So
about.
are we not cooking? So when we get these half-baked things, are we not cooking them properly?
No, because the Americans say they're better not crusty, they're better just half-baked.
Right.
So, which is bizarre.
It's a cultural thing. The French bakers are up in arms because they like to do their baguettes really quite crusty.
Yeah.
And they're being asked, even in France, they're being asked, because people are getting used to like white bread, processed bread, they're being asked to like leave them not so cooked. So not 26 minutes in the oven, it's sort of 21 or something.
Good grief.
And then this is causing...
And also, if they're too crisp, you actually have got to watch your teeth. You can break a tooth on bread.
Yeah.
They are quite hard.
Yeah, they're quite hard. But I think it's very healthy to toot. I think it's toot.
Well, look.
It's dreadful in panto.
I'm not.
When you've got a radio mic on.
Yeah.
It's just.
In private, yes. In public, no.
No, not in public. No.
Oh no, not in public. But have a baguette at home and toot away.
They'll be wanting us to give up sprouts next. And
Sprouts,
baby.
Do you know what? I had a friend, bless him, had a colostomy bag, and it was trial and error what they could eat, and they went, never again with sprouts. Never again with sprouts.
Well, you've just ruined Brussels sprouts for me forever.
I love Brussels sprouts.
Oh, you must pass wind when you eat sprouts, for goodness sake. You must.
Don't think we need to talk about it this hour in the morning.
This is when the biggest tooting goes on.
Well, as my mother used to say when I was growing up, you made a rude noise. Rude noise. We try not to make a rude noise.
And of course, if it happens in your house, you always blame the dog. That dog again.
I know, I do that. I haven't got a dog.
Not yet, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Save that when you do.
Anyway, on that note, get out. Thank you very much indeed. We'll see you a little bit later on.